fallen angels wanted to destroy mankind, right? With Adam, they couldn't. So came Eve. Through Eve, they pulled everyone down, but they thought they'd win with that. On the contrary, this was the Father's plan. The Father. It was necessary for this to happen. Unfortunately, Eve, she chose a path that, you see, look at the difference. Eve's education of Cain versus Adam's education of Abel. Look at education. A man knows how to raise a man. A woman, can she raise a man? Yes, because you see, all teachers are women. But the masculine part of a man, he learns on the street from his father, uncle, cousin, things like that. And Eve, and I want to tell you something else now. Something that made the Father very sad, very sad. This was something I'd forgotten. I'd even forgotten, look at that, I ran out of steam. I'd even forgotten this part. There's something that made the Father very sad, and I'm sure all women have said this word that Eve spoke. Many women have said it, which made the Father very sad. And even today, when women say this, the Father looks down and says, oh no. He gets sad, but of course the girl said it and regretted it, because I'm going to tell you what happened to Eve. When Eve fell and the whole discussion about the fall happened, Eve became a bit arrogant. She got a little arrogant. The fallen angels turned her into an arrogant person, so much so that she passed all this arrogance on to Cain. Cain killed Abel. What I want to tell you, brothers, is something that Eve said to our Father, right to his face, I won't say it, but Eve, I'll tell you something. What she said was really serious. It's a phrase that's repeated even to this day. Eva, after she fell, the Father tried to change her. Everyone tried. Her sister tried to change Eva. Everyone talked to Eva. But there was no way. There was just no way. Eva moved to the side of the fallen. There was no way, and everyone tried. But the day the Father talked to her, and she looked the Father in the face and said, look, I don't need you for anything. Because the Father, the Messiah, was called Son of Man. Then the Father, Eva said to the Father's face like this, I don't need you for anything. I don't need Adam for anything. I don't need the Messiah for anything. And she said to our Father's face, I don't need you, man, for anything. Something that comes from Eva. Today, many women say, I don't need a man for anything. That's what Eva said to the Father back in the beginning. For you to see how complicated it is, one thing that really upset the Father was this. Man, the Father did everything, was good, did everything, and Eva looked him in the face and said, I don't need a man for anything. You're a man, you're Adam, but I don't need you for anything. I can handle things on my own. So she left, turned her back on the Father, saying she didn't need a man for anything, took Cain with her and went off. And what happened then? Cain, with Eve's arrogance, with all the evil Eve had, that's what made Cain kill Abel. And whose fault is it? Eve's, because she didn't raise him the way Adam raised the boy. It's really sad when you women say you don't need a man for anything, forgetting what the Messiah said clearly, what the Father said clearly. Man is made in the image and likeness of the Father. When you say you don't need a man for anything, whether it's your brother, your husband, your uncle, every man on earth represents the Father. You're speaking directly to him. If you don't need a man for anything, just like Eve didn't, then you don't need the Father to be saved either. That's what it's saying. So think carefully before saying that. Man, the Father is not woman's enemy, never has been. It was woman who chose this path. And it seems everything that happened back then with Eve is happening now at the end of times. Exactly the same, no difference. You know what happened, right? She chose the path of the fallen angels.